Coach, if you want to start us off with a quick statement, we'll open it up to questions.
Well, obviously the end result tonight was what we were looking for. I thought we pitched the ball particularly well. Obviously, that's something that we've been feeling good about in terms of trying to contain the other team so that we could stay close. And then we were opportunistic there at the end. So we'll have a lot of things to shore up. Nice thing about baseball is that we get to do it again tomorrow. Playing football, we'd have to wait 6 more days. So hopefully the kids will go home tonight and kind of reflect on it. Maybe there's a little bit of first game jitters, whatever. And then really more so than anything, I think you have to give a lot of credit to Lafayette, their coaching staff, and certainly their pitchers because they made us not look very good tonight. So, but anyways, just proud of the guys for hanging in there. You know, I always talk about being opportunistic, and sometimes it doesn't always go your way in this game, but you got to be present, and you got to kind of take the things from the past and bring them forward. And Luis was able to do that tonight and come up with a big hit.
Luis has been awful at his first board back today.
That's
for you in his short stint last year, but just how much confidence did you have in him that he'd be able to deliver in that situation the way he did?
I would say more hopeful than confident, Gary, at that point, watching kind of his 4 at-bats before. But what I wasn't going to do was go back on really what we preach around here, and I kind of made mention to it in the opening remarks. Those are the moments in baseball that matter the most. It's not what you did the 4 at-bats before, it's what you do in this particular one. So proud of him that he could stay at least contained enough, emotionally to get in there. He certainly wasn't begging to be pinch hit for, so you don't start a guy at DH in your 4-hole, and really feel like having any kind of quick plug. So we know what he can do. We've seen it a lot in the past. We see it in training. We see what he has done against our pitchers in scrimmages leading up to this point. So happy for him that he could take a 1-for-5 day with 4 strikeouts and find some success with it. So hopefully that'll get him going and give him some confidence heading into tomorrow.
And how much do you credit Trevor in front of him? Because I'm sure he had to fight the urge to go hunting on every pitch. He took his one crack at 3-0, but he took the walk that they were trying to give him basically in that situation instead of trying to be a hero.
Yeah, and that's that's a disciplined hitter, and you're right. You saw maybe would catch you off guard a little bit there, and a 3-0 I green lighted him just because a little bit of how Louis had been doing, right? And so Trevor was seeing the ball well, and I just thought that gave us the best chance right there if they give him something to hit. But then again, they win that pitch, but he's able to lay off the pitch before and gave Louis the opportunity. So, Trevor had a nice game, in a lot of different ways. We talk about ready first play, the first play of the season. He comes out and makes a nice glove play there. I thought another big play, Gare, was by him that maybe baseball people might not see is, the line drive smash down the third base line in the middle innings, maybe later innings. I can't remember exactly which innings it was. But he was able to leave his feet and put enough leather on that ball to just get it to trickle. If he stares at that ball or just doesn't give it the 1% chance that we talk about in a dive play, that ball gets in the corner. And, the guy from first is going to score. That could have changed the whole entire outcome, obviously, of the game. So some of those little things that maybe don't get seen on a stat sheet actually had some correlation into us having a chance to win that game.
Sure. Braden didn't have the complete mastery that he did in his 4 starts last year, but he still found a way to lead with 0 runs on the board. And obviously, 3 huge pitches in a row there on the 3-0 count with the base.
Yeah, and I thought that was a big moment. I wrote those down in my notes during the game. That ability in a 3-0 count to come all the way back was a big moment as well. So you're right. He didn't have his best stuff today, that's for sure. But I think that, to me, is the sign of a great pitcher. Maybe I'm pitching with my C stuff, but I can get A results. You don't always have to be feeling the best physically or mentally or whatever like that, or your stuff's maybe not as good as you'd like it to be, but just to find ways. And, he was able to keep them at bay, so to speak. And, they're a good team, and so he was able to do it. I thought Slagle actually, really pitched the ball well, lot of strikes, and just did a good job with his mixes and all that kind of stuff. So I was really proud that what he did coming in behind Braden, and gave up the big swing there. But again, the next guy gets out, and he was able to contain it and put a lid on it, and then Campbell, we had a little bit of a tough deal there, as you saw. This had a little sun ball, and we were going pick over there just because of the pitching change and left-handed first movement, and we just kind of elevated the ball too much and lost it in the deal. So that was big. But I also told Robbie after the game that, he walked a guy and he hit a guy, but what he was able to do was actually get the double play ball that we brought him in for. It was just a couple batters too late. But again, he was able to take a situation and kind of contain it, right, and minimize that instead of letting that turn into a, bases clearing situation. And next thing you know, we're probably out of striking distance. So for him to kind of have some falters there at the beginning, but to make that pitch and Minder to recognize what the play asked for, that was a big deal, and allowed us to kind of stay in range and gave us a chance to win.
Won a lot of games like this in the last couple few years. Obviously, you wanted a better overall performance, but what does it say that when the chips were down, guys came up with a way to win it?
Well, it just says that, what we've been fighting for around here, it's just like pitching. If you can pitch and contain the other team, then even as bad as we played tonight, I told the kids, I don't think we did anything particularly well. That's just the truth. But again, the pitching was able to keep us in there. So, feel good about that. We didn't have to use Keegan tonight, and we'll have him available for tomorrow, and Donovan coming out. So, find ways, right? They say you'd rather win ugly than lose pretty. So there wasn't a lot of pretty, but I think it does have a chance to install some confidence in our guys, to the fact that, we're a good team, and we don't have to do everything just absolutely perfect to find ourselves on the winning column.
Thanks a lot. My toes are frozen, so I'm going to head on out.
Yeah. Thank you, Gary.
Thanks.
Cool. Thanks, Coach.
Good.